Hello, Sir Gulshan. Hello, classmates. I will represent my assignment number 4. I will start with module number 9, which is the transport layer of the Internet, TCP and UDP protocols. So before I will start with TCP and UDP, let's check the definition of transport layer again. So this is the fourth layer in the OSI layer, which provides end-to-end reliable data transmission, and that services is provided to the application layer and taken from the network layer. And this layer divides the message received from the upper layer into packets at source and reassemble these packets again into message at the destination. So TCP, which is the Transmission Control Protocol, provides a connection type service, and it ensures a highly reliable data transmission for upper layers using Internet Protocol. It uses positive acknowledgement to confirm the sender about the proper section of data. And other functions are sequence control, error and recovery control, flow control, and identification of port number. So in the TCP header, it includes the source and destination port fields for identifying the applications for which the connection is established. And the sequence number and the acknowledgement number fields underlie the positive acknowledgement and retransmission technique, while the checksum field is used to integrity check. So in this TCP/IP architecture, you can see that in the network layer we are using the Internet Protocol, and in the transport layer we can use the TCP and UDP. And these services is in the application layer. So the services and application protocol under TCP/IP are the client-server model, Telnet, file transfer protocol, trivial file transfer protocol, SMTP, network file system, simple network management protocol, and domain name system. I will discuss some of these services later. So next, let's proceed to user data protocol or UDP. If TCP is connection type, UDP is a connectionless type protocol in which the sending terminal does not check whether data has been received by the receiving terminal. It allows application to exchange data diagrams. It uses no acknowledgement, so not also no resequence the messages, and set up no flow control. In the UDP header, the source port is the port number of the application that is originating the user data, while the destination port is the port number pertaining to the destination application. The length field describes the total number length of the UDP datagram, including both the data and the header information. And UDP checksum is optional in UDP. So integrity checking is optional, and if turned on, both ends of the communication channel use this field for data integrity check. Now let's proceed to the last module, module 10, which is the application layer of the Internet. So application layer serves as the window for users and application processes to access network services. It makes the interface between the program that is sending or receiving data and the protocol stack. It provides network services to the end users. And here are the examples of protocols under application layer. Let's discuss each term. So domain means is a large group of computers on the internet. It is made based on the organizational type or geographical location. While domain name usually consists of two or more parts called code labels, which is conventionally written separated by dots. And this identification label defines a realm of administrative autonomy, authority, or controlling the internet based on DNS. While the host name refers to a domain name that has one or more associated IP address. And subdomain is the domains that are the subordinate to their parent domain. So there are two types of top-level domains. First is the non-geographical domains or organizational domains. And here are the example. .com is for commercial organization. Example is google.com. .gov is for government organization. .net is for network organization. .int is the international organization. .edu for higher educational institution. And MIL for military organization. So these non-geographical domains indicate the type of organization, and it uses three-letter designation. So for .com is .com, .ed. The second type is the geographical domains. For example, for Philippines.ph, for Singapore.sg, for United Arab Emirates.ae, and so on. So it indicates the code for individual countries and represent using two-letter country designation. Parts of a domain, like example www.upou.edu.ph. .ph is the top-level domain, which is the country code. .edu is also a top-level domain under category. OPOU is the second-level domain and the subdomain of the edu.ph, and www is the host name in this case. Telecommunication network, or the telnet. This is a network protocol used on the internet or local area network connections to provide a bidirectional interactive communication facility. It provides access to command line interface on a remote host via a virtual terminal connection, which consists of an 8-bit byte oriented data connection over the transmission control protocol. It is developed in 1969 to aid in remote connectivity between computers over a network. Telnet also refers to software which implements the client part of the protocol. Below are the common ports connection through Telnet. Port 21 is the FTP. Port 22 is the SSH remote login protocol. Port 23 is the Telnet server. Port 25 is the simple mail transfer protocol. Port 53 is the DNS. Port 69 is the trivial FTP. Port 70 is the Gopher. Port 80 is the HTTP protocol. And port 110 is the post office protocol to the internet. Here are some Telnet applications. Enterprise network to access host applications, for example, on IBM mainframes. Administration of network elements, for example, in commissioning, integration, and maintenance of core network elements in mobile communication networks. Mod games played on the internet, and also in embedded systems. World Wide Web, or the WWW server, is an architectural framework for accessing linked documents called web pages that are spread over thousands of computers all over the world. It is a set of programs, standards, and protocols that allow the text, images, animations, sounds, and videos to be stored, accessed, and linked together in the form of websites. This WWW project was developed at CERN, which is the European Center for Nuclear Research, in 1989. and it has a unique combination of flexibility, portability, and user-friendly features that distinguishes it from the other services provided by the internet. The architecture of www is basically a client-server service, and these services are usually distributed over many local locations called sites or websites. And these websites consist of a vast worldwide collection of documents called web pages, and each web pages contain links to other pages anywhere in the world, and by clicking such link it can access another web page. And this kind of link is called hyperlink, which can be in the form of a string of text or picture, sound, or movie clip. And this string of text that points to another web page is called hypertext. And the special language HTML is used to create this hyperlink. And in order to access these web pages on different sites, a URL is used as a specific address. And these web pages are viewed with a program called a browser, like Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox. Let's go to FTP, which is the File Transfer Protocol. This is a standard network protocol used to exchange and manipulate files over a TCP/IP based network such as Internet. Built on client-server architecture and utilize separate control and data connection between the client and server application. It uses with user-based password authentication or with anonymous user access. And the main competitor for FTP is the HTTP. Email, or the electronic mail, is a digital mechanism for exchanging messages through internet or internet communication platform. Email messages are relayed through email servers, which are provided by all internet service providers. And email are transmitted between two dedicated server folders, the sender and the recipient. And email are comprised of three components. First is the message envelope, which is the email format. Message header is the sender and recipient info and subject line. Here is the email address and the subject, while the message body is the text, image, and file attachments. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol is a TCP/IP protocol that specifies how computers exchange electronic email. It used to upload mail directly from the client to an intermediate host, but only computers constantly connected to the internet can use SMTP to receive email. It uses TCP port number 25 for this service, and it works with Post Office Protocol or POP. POP, or the Post Office Protocol, is a simple protocol used for opening the remote email boxes. The version 3 or the POP3 is a message access protocol that enables the client to fetch an email from the remote mail server. This is defined in RFC 1225, and it uses all TCP/IP protocol stack for network connection and works with SMTP for end-to-end email communication, where POP pulls messages and SMTP pushes them to server. Internet Message Access Protocol, or the IMAP. The IMAP version 4 is the mail access protocol similar to POP3. It's defined in RFC 1064, and it has more features. It has more features and more powerful and complex compared to POP3. It allows a client to access and manipulate emails and mailboxes. It runs on the well-known TCP port 143. It was devised to overcome the limitation of POP3. Thank you.